Hi, I'm Rich from True Achievements. You're listening to the Party Chat podcast, and I hate RPGs.
Xbox on.
Game on, baby! Wow!
Don't make a girl a promise you can't keep.
Let's do this.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Party Chat podcast. I am this week's host, Uncle Jesse. With us, as usual, is the Rossinator himself, Ross Miller.
I'm back, or I'll be back. I don't know.
Yeah. And then along with us as well is Rhys, aka Delicious Cheese.
Yo.
So if you guys did not already know, this is the official podcast for the Xbox One subreddit, and we are very excited that we've got an interview later on with Rich Stone, the creator of TrueAchievements.com.
The creator.
The creator. So, what have you guys been playing?
Ross?
Yeah, Rocket League.
Let me guess. Clay's been playing bloody Rainbow Six.
I haven't.
Yeah. So I picked up quite a lot from the sale.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah. So I've been playing Just Cause.
Oh.
Because I hadn't really been doing it. I've been playing Party Hard.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing Trackmania.
Oh.
And they're all okay.
They're all okay.
All okay.
No, there's nothing that's sticking out because I've not put enough time into them yet. But I'm having a blast doing things in Just Cause.
That's like a pun, right?
No?
Just cause.
Because you
just
explode things in Just Cause?
Yeah, basically that is exactly it. It's just you explode things, making bridges blow up, pulling down statues, but it's a good stress release.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Trackmania is good as well.
I was on the fence about picking that one up as well, Ross, so I'm glad to hear you're at least having some fun with it.
Yeah, like I know I'll never finish that game, and I know I'll probably get my money's worth out of it for whatever it cost. So,
Rhys, how about yourself, my brother?
I have been playing actually something a little bit different to Battleborn this week. I picked up Mirror's Edge Catalyst. It's not Mirror's Edge 2 because it's a reboot or reimagining or whatever they want to call it. And I have also been playing Tropico 5.
Tropico 5. They've made another one of those games?
Yeah, it's the penultimate edition. The name doesn't make much sense, but yeah. For those who don't know, Tropico is a city builder, a bit like SimCity, but it's basically you're in control of Cuba. It's a small South American tropical island, and you are the El Presidente, and it's your job to create a capitalist or communist, paradise on the island. And what sort of makes it different from SimCity or something else like that is it really embraces embraces its identity, and you can do heaps of really funny stuff. Like you have to play politics, and you can cuddle up to America, or you can alienate them. You can be like a full tilt dictator who disappears people who disagree with him and siphons money into his Swiss bank account, or you can be like a really for the people sort of person. And it's really fun, and it's really funny, and time just disappears when you start playing that game. It is dangerous. It has got like the Civilization thing going on for it when you're like, oh, maybe I'll just play for 5 minutes, and it's 1 a.m.
Am I the only one that has no interest in playing those types of games?
I think there's more people like you than there are like me.
I can't wait for Civ. Like, see if they ever say the new Civ on the Xbox.
I would even buy Civ Rev on back compatibility. I'm jonesing for Civilization.
I just love Civilization. I need to have that on the Xbox.
Maybe it's a European thing. Apparently, we also like driving and farming simulators up here.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. Let's put it that way.
And Mirror's Edge 2 is good. I like it a lot. It plays well. It's good. It's basically the same as the first one, but more of it. I'm not a huge fan of the open world. Ross has expressed his distaste for it as well.
have in the future when you hear that interview.
Yeah, it's in the future. When you start podcasting, you gain the ability to travel back and forwards through time. Don't worry about it. If any of you watch Rick and Morty, don't think about it. So, as I was saying, the open world it's unnecessary. And one of the best things to agree with what Ross says in the future is that about the old game is that like it was very focused and you could really speed run an area. But in this game with the open world, like it's a bit chaotic and you can't really perfect a running line because the maps haven't been carefully constructed to give like an optimum route. There's just a big open area and you go wherever you feel like. And the most fun I have is actually doing the time trials that because when you're in the game, if you haven't played it, you can at any part of the open world you can actually just drop a checkpoint and you can start running. And you drop checkpoints wherever you want, and then when you're done, it becomes an instant race course, and then all your friends have that race course appear in their game. And the most fun I've been having is actually trying to beat my friends' times on their custom-made levels. But yeah, it's good. I recommend it. And everyone should pick it up. It's different and it's fun. And you don't need to have played the first one to enjoy this.
What was the name of it?
Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
Just making sure everybody knew. I swear I haven't been drinking before this.
That would explain many things. That would be better. Now, what about you? What have you been playing, Mr. Rainbow Six?
Yeah, surprisingly, I haven't been playing Rainbow Six Siege. I was on vacation for a week, which is why I wasn't on the show last week. But when I got back, I was lucky enough, and I don't think I can actually talk about it now that I think about it. I've been playing. I'll state it anyways. I don't care. I've been playing the Battlefield 1 Alpha. So I'm not really. I don't think I can go into a whole hell of a lot of details.
NDA.
Yeah, exactly. Other than it's pretty damn good.
So you've heard.
Yeah. So I've heard. I mean, I wasn't personally playing, but I saw lots of videos that it looks amazing and plays amazing and sounds amazing and lots of destruction and. Unlike the Civilization stuff that we were talking about before.
Civilization has like citywide destruction. What are you talking about?
I don't know. But yeah, outside of that, man, I've been playing. Ross had mentioned some games that he picked up on the Ultimate Game Sale. The big one that I picked up was Red Dead Redemption. So I think everybody has been very excited about this one. User Blackfire561 was the lucky user to submit the posting of the announcement that Red Dead is now available through backwards compatibility. And Rhys, I think you had some interesting stats that you saw there as well about that particular posting, correct?
Yeah, whenever a big news thing like that hits Reddit, everybody posts it at exactly the same time. And basically, we moderators have to like sort of line them up like a dartboard and be like, "You win the karma, you win the karma race," and then we delete every other post. But yeah, this post actually swiftly, in just one day, shot not only to the top of the subreddit, but it also went to the top of R All. We were number one on R All for quite a few hours. And it is the number 2 most upvoted post on the subreddit of all time. It's sitting just underneath the top post by a measly 28 upvotes. The top post is actually a joke about someone's most used monthly app being the network troubleshooter. But yeah, that's pretty good effort.
So what we're saying, if 28 people listening to this haven't actually upvoted it yet, go and get it done.
Yeah.
So for any of you that did not pick it up, it was on sale for, at least on the U.S. side, $7.50. And I think somebody else posted all of the DLC, out excluding the Undead Nightmare, was free, or is free to download as well, which is awesome. I've heard there's lots of issues with the multiplayer. I have not played any multiplayer yet, but I've just been thoroughly loving getting back involved in the world of Red Dead Redemption and playing back through the single-player campaign. So that's primarily what sucked up most of my weekend, outside of the other game that I will not mention again. Did you guys pick it up? Have you guys playing it? What's your thoughts on Red Dead?
Can I make a confession?
What's that?
I have never played Red Dead Redemption.
Shut up. Are you serious?
I am dead serious.
How have you never played this game? This was like the best game on the Xbox 360.
Doesn't interest me.
The best game.
Clay, guess what?
What?
I've not played it either.
Everybody get off this podcast. Get Mikey, get Dave, get all the other guys. Bring them back on here.
America, cowboys.
Exactly. Get all this Euro trash off of here.
Oh,
Dim dare fighting words.
We voted out, it's fine. I voted to stay. But I've never played it, but you think how happy I was when I picked up on the sale, hearing all these amazing things so that I can now, when I get a spare moment, actually sit down and play it.
You're going to love it, man. Oh my gosh, it's so good, and I don't want to spoil anything, but it's just so good halfway through the game. Like, there's...
Well, I heard it done some crazy Amazon figures as well. Like, it shot to number 1 or something like that.
Yeah, the sales went up 3,574%. I don't have that committed to memory. We have that written down. But yeah, that's quite a sales jump.
Huge sales jump. Thanks.
This game is popular, and I mean, I don't know why it doesn't interest me. I mean, cowboys, open world, sandbox, I don't like those kind of games.
Oh my gosh, it's so much. I don't know, the dialogue, the gameplay, it's all in there, and it looks beautiful. You could play that as a hunting simulator. In fact, you could even just ignore the game itself and just run around the different areas of the map and go hunting for different wildlife.
I've heard it's quite good for poker.
Oh yeah, I've heard that as well.
I want like a more focused experience. Although I have heard, is it true that when you're playing poker, you can just stand up and shoot the man across the seat from you? Because that's pretty amazing, actually. Like, all poker games should have that feature.
Well, I'm looking forward to actually sitting down and getting my hands on it. It's one that I don't know how it's escaped me for this long, but I can't wait to actually sit down.
Shame.
You're listening to Xbox One Party Chat Podcast. This week in the subreddit.
So what else has been happening in the subreddit this week, Jesse?
Well, it looks like there was a topic posted by Midnight Stream all about how the Xbox One has generated millions in revenue for indie devs.
Hundreds of millions.
Hundreds of millions. Not just millions. Hundreds of millions. And there was an article that was posted basically explaining how ID at Xbox works for indie devs. So, Rhys, I think you're probably closest to this. Wanted to get your input on all of it.
Well, yeah. On the article basically just talks about the ID at Xbox director, Chris Sharla. He's a cool guy. He's actually a Redditor, and he posts on the Reddit every now and again and talks to us. Hi, Chris. He had hosted a summit at Bit Summit. It was called in Kyoto, in Japan. Giving in-depth information about the program's results and goals and inner workings and that sort of stuff. It's probably quite similar to what I saw in Helsinki that one time when I met Agostino Simonetta. Hi, Ago. See all these people. And basically, he just talking about, as Clay said, ID at Xbox, what it does, and the early access program and that sort of stuff. And yeah, like so, it's been really successful and sort of got off to a bit of a rocky start. PlayStation really got in on the indie train early, as we all know. But nowadays, like, the ID at Xbox program is, running at full steam, and it's like super supportive for indie devs. If you're an indie dev and you want to bring your game to Xbox, talk to Chris, talk to Ago. Hell, even send a PM to the mods, and we can point you in the right direction, because it's never been a better time. You get free dev kits and you get free Unity licenses. Like, it's there's no reason not to. But what do you guys think about this whole the indie craze? Like, now that we have so many indies on the Xbox One, and like the whole games are games are games, and not sort of splitting them into the indie games and the arcade games and the real games, quote unquote. Like they've all sort of blurred together. Like, do you guys have any favorites from this gen? And do you guys have you taken advantage of the early access program?
Yes.
Yes to everything.
And everything, yeah. But for the early access, just at the end of that point there, I picked up Layers of Fear.
Me
very,
too.
Very early on. I also picked up The Long Dark very, very early on. And Layers of Fear I played to the point where I could no longer continue. And then when the game came out, I played the full way through it. In fact, it's got DLC coming at the end of the month.
So excited for that.
Yeah, Layers of Fear's brilliant. The Long Dark's been a very, very different experience. I had my game when it was very early in its build. I went back a couple of months ago and that game has changed a lot. You can really see it coming on. But it's been in early access for quite a long time. I love that program. You can, if you want to get in, you're getting it a little bit cheaper. You're funding the development of it. It's all good. And the rest of ID Xbox, I don't think there's anything wrong with having more and more games. Yes, there's some games that maybe aren't amazing to yourself, but someone's going to like them anyway. But, the more games and the more choice I have can only be a good thing.
Do you have a favorite this gen?
Of indie, you got to see Inside, haven't you?
Inside, yeah, you have to. I haven't played it yet.
That's quite topical at the moment. Layers of Fear is up there because I had such a fun experience with that.
We had the devs for the AMA, by the way. If anyone hasn't read that yet, head up to the top of the subreddit and click the AMA archive and read the AMA with the developers. They're really cool.
I really liked IDARB.
IDARB. I still play that at parties.
Oh, yeah. That one was a really fun one. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, I just, the more indie games, the more choice we get, the better it is across all platforms, and I love it.
I'm really shocked at your answer, to be honest, because you didn't say Rocket League.
Right.
Oh, I never even thought about that. There is this, there used to be such a split on the 360 between arcade titles and main game. Mm-hmm. And you've referred to this before. You've got your indie titles, your double A's and your triple A's. Mm-hmm. And definitely your Rocket League and Inside would probably be a double A.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or just an A, if you want.
Yeah.
That feels bigger than what you would consider as being an indie. Because you do get that with being smaller titles, but, can still sell absolutely loads. And the more that these people innovate, the better it is. Just look at the success of Pokemon Go mobile this week.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Pokemon Go launched on the weekend, and it already has more active users than Twitter.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dead mental. Serious. There's an article on Forbes about it.
What did I see? Did I see something posted on Reddit earlier today that was the guys that created that app, the game, the Pokemon app, they built some other game a few years ago.
It's the same game.
With lots more functionality, all this other content built into it. And then, for whatever reason, it either sounds like it got scrapped or just didn't do well. And so they redid it with less functionality. Basically everything that they built for this other game and threw in some Pokemon in it, and it did, everybody's playing it.
Yeah.
Exactly correct, yeah. It's a fifth less of or it's only a fifth of the function, and essentially is the same core game. It's Google Maps, isn't it? So, Jesse, what are you? Thoughts on the ID and Xbox program?
Yeah, I absolutely love the program. I'm a big fan of the, and I can't remember what it was called. We just saying it now. The early access or the preview program that you can actually go ahead and try these games and actually help, as you said, Ross, purchase them early. You're helping support the developer in creating the game. You're actively providing feedback into this. This, in my mind, is really what Kickstarter should be more of for gaming, especially when it comes to Xbox. So things like the Mighty Number 9, if they would have potentially done something like this, where then you're actively gathering feedback from the community as it's being played, then it, maybe it would have done better, and people would be paying more for the game, or full price, or some sort of a discounted price, similar to what's on Kickstarter. But it's just another revenue stream, but it's also another area for them to get that feedback, the early feedback, so that they can make a quality game before it's released. And I think one of the big ones that's out there that Ross didn't mention is Ark Survival.
Yeah.
I know a ton of people are playing, and that was in the preview program for a long while.
Still is.
Is it still in there? I thought it was already.
Yeah.
No.
Nope.
Oh wow. Okay. Well then.
Elite Dangerous as well.
I was just about to say, based on what you were saying just there, Clay, Elite Dangerous was the very first game in the preview program, and we have a really good relationship with the developers at Frontier. We had David Braben on the podcast.
Hi,
they're great
David,
guys.
if you're listening.
Hi, David. I know Zach's
He's
listening.
not listening.
Hi, Zach is listening. Hi, Zach. How you doing? So. Just the deadpan. He's not listening. So anyway, what you were saying about how getting feedback from the community and helping to build a game, like that actually happens. Like Elite Dangerous features content that was designed by members of our subreddit. We have rare trade goods in the game that you can go and buy and trade and sell in the game that we put there. We had that contest, if you guys remember, to name and invent our own rare trade thing, and we had a special community event that they set up in the game for us, and we all got together and had to smuggle like drugs. Like they actually worked it into their lore, and it was hilarious. And that's so cool. Like something like that has never happened before. So like our subreddit has influenced the development of a game directly. Something that we wrote, some guy typed on his computer and hit enter on Reddit is now in Elite Dangerous. And I really love these early access programs. I think that the more contact that developers have with their fans, the better, the more basically you're going to make the game that your fans want.
And they enter at different stages. So I mentioned like the Long Dark, and Hinterland have listened to their fans a lot as well. Or then you've got Prison Architect, which was quite late on in its cycle, wasn't it, before it came into the preview program?
I actually don't know.
But it didn't seem to be in as long as some of the other games. And, it's very, very varied. And I think it shows if you're invested into a game, if you buy it, my wife keeps on asking me, when is The Long Dark actually going to get a full release? And I didn't think we all realised how early into its development it was. And, you feel as if you're invested because you've been there since the start as such. The first moment you could, you picked it up. Mm-hmm. And, more and more games I think we'll see coming to this.
Yeah.
As you said, Mighty Number 9, might have been a totally different game if this is the route it went.
Absolutely. But Clay, did you have a favourite indie this gen?
I mean, if I had to pick one, it would be Rocket League. I mean, that's just clearly the one that I've played the most. I wish I could say it was Elite Dangerous. I just haven't given that game enough time.
Mine's Elite Dangerous. I like Elite Dangerous.
It's such a beautiful game. I just haven't given it enough time to master all of the mechanics.
You better hope David's not listening.
Sorry, David.
You promised. But Elite Dangerous is great if you like space. So actually, while we're talking about indies, and before we move on to the next task, I'm going to play the moderator card again and very quickly plug the AMA with the developers of Fru. I hope it's pronounced Fru. I've been talking to him all week. I never asked. And it's actually happening right now. It'll be either above or below this post if you're listening on the Wednesday when we release this. If not, go and read it in the archives and go and ask them like all the questions, because it's a super interesting game and they're really open and cool guys, and hopefully, well, actually definitely, we are going to have them on the podcast very, very soon, so that should be a lot of fun. And also on this Saturday we have another AMA with the developers of Tumblestone, which is this month's Game with Gold, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And the AMA is on the exact same day that it goes live. So you'll be able to ask them as the game appears on the store.
Superb. Well, I think it's a good time to drop in the interview, don't you, Clay?
I think so. Let's get Rich on the podcast.
Xbox Snap this week's interview.
All right, everybody, we're very excited. We've got a great interview lined up with Rich from True Achievements with us today. Rich, say hello.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Good. So, Rich, tell us a little bit about yourself and what exactly is True Achievements.
Sure. So my name's Rich Stone. I'm a software developer living in the sunny south of England. Although it's not been particularly sunny this summer so far. I've been working in IT for the best part of 20 years, and I've been gaming for the best part of 30 years now. I'm not going to tell you my age, but that gives you some sort of clue. The website, True Achievements, is an Xbox-focused website about games, and of course, Xbox Achievements. And it's grown steadily over that time, and we've now got around 350,000 members.
That's not bad.
Nice.
Yeah, we've never done any advertising, so it's all through word of mouth, and that's how it's grown.
So tell us a little bit behind the philosophy of True Achievements, its history and...
Sure, I haven't actually told this story for a little while, but I used to listen to a lot of podcasts on my daily commute to work, which was about 9 years ago. I had quite a long commute up to town, and that was the time when it was sort of IGN's Three Red Lights was their Xbox podcast,
Nice.
and the Giant Bomb podcast, some smaller independent UK ones too. And this wasn't long after Xbox had come out, the 360. And a topic that used to come up quite a lot was to do with gamer score and how hard certain achievements were to unlock compared to other ones that have exactly the same gamer score. At that time, I was training to do a swimathon in my spare time, and I was doing a lot of lengths to the pool every day. And it's, I tell you guys, if you've ever done that, it's the most boring sports thing to do in your world. It gives you a lot of time to think. It is so dull, from one length to the other, to the other, to the other. And gives you a lot of time to think. So I wondered if there might be a way to calculate the rarity of an achievement, which would give you some idea of how hard it was. So how many people have unlocked it compared to how many people have actually played the game?
Mm-hmm.
I've did a stats degree at university, so I thought I might be able to put that to some good use and come up with like a scoring system to properly reward the rarer achievements. That was what I wanted to do, because I'd hear these people talking on their podcast and they'd be like, oh man, you know, I got this Fire in the Flames 5-star on Guitar Hero last night, got me with my 10 gamer score, and the other guy would be like, well, I just started the Simpsons game and I got me my 10 gamer score, and it just didn't seem fair that they were both worth 10. So I wrote a little scanner to go and scrape all my friends' data from Xbox.com. Don't tell anyone about that.
You're on a podcast.
Yeah. This is going to go horribly. And this is when TrueAchievements.com came to a sudden crashing halt. I came up with a formula based on the scraping all the data, and I got all the data from all my friends, put it into a database, came up with a formula, and basically on TA, if an achievement is rarer, it's worth more than one that's not as rare, but it's more common. And just like gamer score, you add up all the true achievement scores of all the achievements, and that's your total true achievement score. So back then I created a really basic website. I mean, the most basic website you've seen. It was basically just a leaderboard. So you could register, it would scan all your achievements in, and it would go, right, here's your true achievement score. And it would just show the leaderboard of the registered true achievement gamers all on one big board. The achievement hunting community right back then was pretty small. So word got out quite quickly about it for those that were into that sort of thing. And then I set up a forum on there, and then all these amazing achievement hunters started saying, right, you should add this to the site, and it would be really cool if we could have guides to solutions. And I want to tell everyone how to get this 5-star Fire in the Flames achievement, and I want to have a gamer goal so I can see how quickly I can get up to 10,000 gamer score. And all these ideas just snowballed in the forum. And at that time I was pretty quick at developing, so people would come up with an idea and I'd try and code it as quickly as I possibly could and get it live the next day if possible.
Wow.
And that's how the site grew. Yeah, so I've been coding for a long time, as I say, over 20 years now, so I've got pretty quick at doing it. I can turn things around quite fast. Now, they didn't look pretty. Design is not my strong suit, I have to say, but they sort of worked, luckily.
Sort of.
Yeah, exactly. And so the ideas came thick and fast. People suggested a way to have gaming sessions. So maybe you wanted to get a group of people together to go and try and get a particular achievement seriously in Gears of War, let's say, or any other multiplayer achievement that needs people that maybe they didn't know anyone that happened to have the game. So I created a way on TA that someone could set up a gaming session, and then anyone else that had that game that wanted that achievement would get a notification for it, and they could all sign up. We've run over 600,000 of those gaming sessions now. That was
Hey,
a while
nice.
ago. Yeah, I think that's well over 1 million achievements that have been got just from TA gaming sessions, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we've added more and more stuff. So over the years, we've added a news team, so you don't have to go anywhere else for your Xbox news anymore. You got friend feeds, so
Except our subreddit.
Of course, yeah. Little plug there. We added friend feeds. So beforehand, on your Xbox and on Xbox.com, there was no way to see what your friends were doing. It was just basically your own little world, your own little page. So we added friend feeds before they even existed anywhere else, really, based on Facebook sort of style. And you can comment on them, see what your friends are playing. We've added series scores, so you can see what your score is across the entire Call of Duty series or any other series that you care about. Yes, it's unusual. I don't think there's any other sites that have got that. We added full game walkthroughs, so you can get all the way from A to B in the entire game, get the full completion, and ways to manage your game library, so you can add games that you've rented, games that you want to sell, want to trade. All of that information can be put into TA.
That's fantastic. And another thing that you've made actually is just recently you guys released an app for the Xbox One. Can you tell us a little bit about what it's like to make an app for the Xbox?
Yeah, sure. So when we first started working with Microsoft on the app, the only apps that were available then, so this was just about 2 years ago, were video streaming apps. So there was a YouTube app and a Vivo app. So they had a basic template to make a video streaming app, but obviously that is not what TA is. So we were sort of working from the ground up, really. My development team and I, three of us, were pretty good at picking up new stuff. So although we were working on a whole new platform with unfamiliar stuff, it was a platform that's built on basic JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, which is the same stuff that we use every day to build our website. So we're pretty familiar with dealing with the basics. We just had to learn how it all hooked in with the Xbox ecosystem. We had to build an API for the True Achievements database itself, so we could pull our data into the app from our website, but also merge that with the Xbox data.
You went full circle.
Yeah, yes, I suppose it is. Yeah, they're scripting us now. But once we built one page that worked, and admittedly that took about 3 weeks, it was reasonably straightforward to use that to build the rest of the app and use that as a base and build on it from there. And Microsoft were really great. They gave us loads of advice. We had calls every week while we were developing it, and they were really, really helpful for us because we were doing something that was quite new to the platform. It was important for us and important for them that we got it right, and we got a great product at the end of it, and I'm pretty proud that I think we've achieved that.
Yeah, I think it's great. And speaking of going full circle, you actually have achievements for using your app now.
Yeah, we do. That was the coolest thing.
Pretty amusing.
I wrote that first achievement, which was for reading a news story on the app. It's what was it called? I can't remember what it's called. Oh, it's called Read All About It. When I wrote that achievement and we hooked it into the achievement system, and then we fired up the app on our development Xbox, and that popped. It was just like the most satisfying thing I've ever felt. So it's my pinned tweet, a picture of it happening on my Twitter.
Oh, really?
It's a pinned tweet at the top of it. Yeah, it was just like, wow, this is amazing. This thing that I've studied for 6 years of my life, and I've just made one.
Yeah,
like having a child.
That's amazing.
Rich, about the achievements and developing that, when I've used other apps, I've noticed that it's not like there's 50 achievements that you can get from an app. Is there a limitation that Microsoft sets on how many in-app achievements you can?
No, there's no limit, and you can actually add to them every quarter if you want to. The problem is that with an app, you're limited by the functionality that you can have in there, really. So, well, you're not limited. You could put as much as you want in, but obviously the development time limits you. Plus, working with a controller and a TV is very different to having a website. So, as we found when we were deciding what to put in the app, you've got to bear in mind the fact that people are not in front of a keyboard and they haven't got a mouse there. They're going to be stood or sat probably 9 times out of 10, several feet away from a TV screen. So you need to design for although it's a bigger screen, it's a lot further away, and you need to design for a controller. So everything needs to be big buttons, and you don't want to be typing loads of stuff in. So all of those considerations had to be made when we were deciding what we were going to put into the app itself.
So what exactly does the app do for the users?
So the app is a really slimmed down version of the website, basically. So you get some of the main features of the site. The focus is on your own games and achievements, naturally, and what your friends are playing. So the homepage is similar to your homepage on TA. You've got your TA friend feed showing what your friends are playing, any milestones they're hitting. So another feature of the site is if you hit 10,000 gamer score, say, will pop up a little thing on your feed, and all your friends can go, "Oh, well done, very good."
Not jealous at all.
Very impressive. Yeah. You can see any games they've rated, so you can score games on TA out of 5, and all that stuff will pop up on the app too. Any gaming sessions that they've joined, the usual sort of thing that's on TA. But we've also obviously got your own games and achievements on there as well, so you can see probably the coolest thing about the app, the thing that people use the most, is that you can see any achievement guides that people have put onto the site in the app. So as you're playing a game, you can snap the TA app to the side of the screen. We'll pick up what game you're playing, and we can basically, you can get help with any app that any achievement that you're stuck on. So all the guides will be there. You can read them. You can then just flick back to the main screen and play as normal, and hopefully pop some achievements quite quickly. Plus, it's also fully integrated into the Xbox operating system as well. So I don't know whether you realise, but on the official Xbox app, if you snap it, there's a little search for help button underneath every achievement. That will, if you've got the TA app installed, that will fire up the TA app and go straight to solutions for that achievement.
Oh, that's awesome.
I did not know that.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, so it's fully integrated as well, and obviously we work with those guys on making that happen. Plus, this all the gaming sessions you've got coming up, because obviously that's the thing that's probably most useful to have while you're playing. You suddenly see, oh, I'm supposed to be playing this in 5 minutes with 20 other people. You can see whether they're full yet. Get all the information you need to do your gaming sessions.
Okay.
Oh, and I should probably mention the app is free.
And it's free!
Free. Get it now. I should be on the stage at E3. Download it now.
That's right. So, Rich, you had mentioned that taking some of the different features from your site and putting it into the app. How do you go about determining which one of the features do you want to bring over to the app? I mean, there's a ton of stuff that's available on your site. Is it a matter of?
Yeah, as I say, it's really hard. We were limited by time. We could literally have been still developing it now if we wanted to put everything we wanted to put in, which would have been an amazing app that no one would ever have seen. So there would be no point in that. So we focused on the stuff that we knew people would want to use from the comfort of their sofa. So you've got your achievement guides, you've got your gaming sessions, and then because we wanted it to appeal to people that maybe aren't as nutty about achievements as we are, we've added all our news stuff in there as well. So you can use it as a general Xbox news app as well as all the achievement related goodness.
Awesome.
Now, other than your own achievement, which obviously you highlight, do you have a favourite achievement that you've unlocked?
I mean, there's so many I could choose, but there's a particular one in Peggle 2, which is probably people are going to say, that's a weird game to choose, but it's called All the Chivos, first of all, which is amazing. And it's for completing all 180 of the optional objectives in the game.
Wow.
Now, firstly, I absolutely love Peggle. It's just the best game ever. I played it on my phone, I played it on my PC, I played it on my tablet, I played it on everything I could. And when it was announced...
Whoa. Better than Gears of War?
Oh, honestly, you can't compare games like that.
Them's fighting words.
I can't play Gears of War on my phone yet. And then they announced it was coming to Xbox One, and I was like, yeah! And in fact, this is an interesting story. It's actually the first game I ever played on Xbox One.
Oh.
I was at the first day of Gamescom, a few months before the Xbox One came out, and it was the trade day, so there's no members of the public there. It's almost completely empty. There's just a few journalists around. And I ran. Obviously, the first thing I did was go straight to the Xbox stand, which was enormous, and there was just Xbox Ones everywhere. I was like, oh my god, this is the best day of my life. And there's just loads of journalists there queuing up for Forza 5 and FIFA and Rise, and it was all this new stuff, and everyone's like, wow, so excited. And it was just this Xbox One sat there on its own with no one around it, and it had like a Peggle logo above it, and I was like, wow, this, I could go and queue, but it's just there, so I just went over and I just started playing on it. It was my first time I'd picked up that Xbox One controller for the first time, and first time I'd ever seen Peggle looking so stunning. I mean, it looked amazing in with the Xbox One tech behind it. So that game itself has a lot of love for me, and I think that achievement, it's a hard achievement. I mean, I spent a good few hours getting that, I have to say. But just the name of it, I think all the Chivos, it sort of sums up my life for the last 9 years or so as well.
So what is your highest true score achievement then?
Right, well, I had to look this up actually just before I came on, but it's quite embarrassing.
Oh.
But it's the 20-day consecutive play achievement in Roblox. I don't know if any of you guys have played that.
I have. I've got that achievement.
Okay, right. You are one of 10%, only 10% of the Roblox playing community to have that achievement. And this achievement demonstrates that rarity does not always equal difficulty.
Well,
that game is so bad.
Playing that game 20 days in a row might not be easy. You never know.
Hey, I just said that I've unlocked this and that game's so bad.
Yeah.
It is just...
it's because I've got a kid in the house. You can't even get it.
I was gonna say, kids love that game.
So basically what you're saying is you're account sharing.
No.
What's happening is Ross is talking big about being a big Gears of War fan, but in reality, as soon as he gets off the pod, he boots up Roblox and he's like, hey.
So Rich, one other thing that we wanted to talk to you about was you not only have true achievements, but you also have true trophies, true Steam achievements. I mean, what's your favorite element of those, and is there anything that you think the Xbox should look into adapting into its own system?
Well, okay, so the PlayStation and Steam achievement systems are relatively close to the Xbox system, but they've got a couple of slight differences. Obviously, on PlayStation, you've got the trophy colors, so you've got your bronze, silver, gold, and platinum instead of gamer score. And on Steam, the achievements don't have any value at all.
Yeah.
So on TSA, we give them a sort of arbitrary 10 out 10 gamer score, in quotes, base score, and then we multiply the ratios by that base 10. So actually, I think I prefer the Xbox system where the developers have got a lot more freedom to give the scores that they want to give. So I wouldn't move any of that over, to be honest. Also, the noise for unlocking a trophy on PlayStation is rubbish.
Isn't it annoying? I can't stand it.
So I definitely wouldn't bring that over. But there is one thing, and it's not really to do with achievements, but Steam Humble Bundles. Man, if we could have something even a tiny bit close to a Humble Bundle on Xbox, the value for the amount of games is just unbelievable. I've ended up buying probably 200 Steam games that I'm just never ever going to play. They're just on my account now because they're just so cheap.
Rich, can you explain that for anybody that doesn't play Steam, like myself?
Sure. So okay,
Steam.
That doesn't use the Google.
A Humble Bundle, basically every month, and sometimes even more frequently than that, developers will work together with Valve and put together a bundle of games. Generally, they're themed generally, so there'll be either lots of games from the same developer or lots of games around a certain genre or something like that, and they'll give it a name based on the theme, and then they'll allow you to buy that for as much as you want. And basically, the more you pay, like generally it will be like you get 5 games, but you can literally pay 1 cent for them. But if you at least pay the average amount, then you'll get these 2 extra games. And then, so the average amount will be like maybe $5 or something. And then it will say, and if you go to like $10, then we'll throw in these other 2 games as well. And because of all the, it's quite, I suppose it's a psychological thing, and I'm sure they've tested it over years and years, but because it's only a little bit more each time, you find yourself going, oh, well, I could get those extra 2 games. It's only another $5, so, might as well go for it. So yeah, Humble Bundles are basically a way for you to massively increase your game collection without shelling out very much money at all. And you compare that to as you know, it's the Xbox. In fact, today is the last day, is it? I think of the Xbox sale.
Surprise! We're filming on Monday.
Yeah, don't spoil the illusion. This is Wednesday.
So yeah, we're doing this live.
So the Xbox sale closed 2 days ago.
You're good at this.
It was a huge success, I've heard. And I looked at some of the discounts, and I was like, oh wow, man, Mirror's Edge. I haven't bought that yet. It's 50% off. Went to buy it, And then I thought, hang on, they've got that wrong. It's still £30. But actually, because the digital price was RRP'd at £55, which is something like, or would have been something like 75, $80 2 weeks ago before we destroyed
There's
our
some
country.
subtle political commentary in the first sentence there.
Political discussion, which I'm not going to get into. It's still ridiculous. Like I could go and buy it. That's the sale. I could go into a shop and buy it considerably cheaper than that £30. I'm sure I could.
Yeah.
I haven't tried yet. But so that depresses me. Like you look at it, you look at the headline discount percentages, and you're like, wow, that's incredible. It's gonna be a huge discount. I can actually, if it was £20, I'd buy it straight away. But there you go. Anyway.
On the same token, you could get quite a lot of games for like £6 and £8 and things like that. I paid full price for Mirror's Edge.
Yeah. Well, what did you think of it? Sorry, I'm going off at a tangent now.
I am a huge Mirror's Edge fan, as people this podcast don't know. I loved the first game, and I've enjoyed the second game, but I'm not a huge fan of the open world.
I'm the same.
Yeah, I love open world games, and I think there is a bit of open world fatigue going on with some huge releases over the last couple of years. But that game, part of its charm for me was just being pushed through and replaying the same parts of the story. God, what don't know what I said. And so you could do your time attacks.
Yeah.
And I feel as if there's too much to do in that world that you would never really get round to really going back through it. So it's slightly off topic.
Gamescom last year, I thought it was. I only played it for I think 15 minutes. The demo they had there, but I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah,
it's just so unique, isn't it? That whole the way you look at the game, just the whole vision of it is just immense. I love it.
How about Reddit? Are you active on Reddit?
I am. I say active. I've been a member on there for about 5 years.
Okay.
So it's the perfect bedtime thing to read.
How about? Do you have any favorite little-known subreddits that you can share with us?
I follow most of the techie stuff, especially the stuff to do with programming. But that's pretty boring, and they're not particularly small. But of the non-tech stuff, I like British Problems, which always makes me smile. General sense of humour on there is fantastic. Also, I've just had a little girl. Well, it's 2.5 years ago I had a little girl. So our parenting and our dad, they're again probably not very small, but they were really useful for me to understand what other people were going through and not to constantly panic the first time you see something for the first time. Oh, my daughter's going to die. But still here. Thankfully.
Just wait till you have your second kid. Wait till you have your second kid.
No,
and it's letting the kid eat off the floor and.
Wait, what?
Wow.
Is there a True Achievement subreddit?
I don't think there is.
There is. I'm right here.
Okay, it's not run by me.
No, it's run by a man called Dr. Fee I Good.
He sounds like a wonderful. Is it generally positive?
Upstanding young chap, I'm sure. It's got 51 subscribers.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, so you're moving up in the world.
52.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm a big fan, so I follow Arcoys, which is Come On You Spurs, and Artrance, because although I don't go clubbing anymore, I still like to have some pretty uplifting dance music in the office, as it helps me code faster. Faster the music, faster the code comes out.
So why haven't you moved on to like black metal then?
Yeah, I did try Gabba for a bit Belgian Gabba, but that was a bit too much for the other people in the office.
The Americans listening to that are just like, what?
Google Belgian Gabba techno, and you will understand what I'm talking about.
It's different.
It's the moment you've been waiting for.
Oh, I love
the question that ends all questions. Journalism at its absolute finest. What classic video game character could you knock out with one punch?
Right. This is going to be a very unpopular answer, and I'm taking it a bit broader than just one video game character, but I am going to say every single character in every single RPG.
Ever.
Because I just do not, ever, which would take admittedly some time. I just don't get on with RPGs at all. I would happily wipe them off the face of the planet. If I have to hit, the problem is, right, I get sucked in. I'm on True Achievements all the time, and every time a big new RPG comes out, my friend thinks, "Oh, it's the new Oblivion. Oh, Skyrim. Oh, Skyrim's amazing. 5 out of 5. 5 out of 5." It's like, oh well, I don't really like RPGs, but everyone's going nuts about it. I'm gonna get it. This is the one. This is the one that's going to do it for me. And then 2 hours later, I'm sat there trying to work out how to put a sword in an inventory and get some gems together and play that ridiculous card game that's in The Witcher that they're now turning into a full game. I mean, what is that about? That's the most dull part of The Witcher, which is already a dull game. I've alienated 3/4.
Oh, wow. And if you hadn't destroyed True Achievements before, you just did then, Rich.
Look, you need either, the way to make a good game, you need either lots of guns or lots of cars.
Or lots of peggles.
There you go.
Yeah, or
Lots of pigs.
pegs.
Which is quite funny because your full name sounds like something you'd find in the inventory in an RPG.
Rich Stone. Yeah. Perhaps that's it. Perhaps I'm just like fighting against it. Perhaps that's my destiny. One day, that's why I keep buying them. One day, one's going to click. Although, right, I did love Mass Effect, the whole Mass Effect series, but I don't really count them as RPGs.
Oh, they're
They're just-
RPGs.
They're shooting a little bit of RPG thrown in for fun.
So we found out that Rich hates RPGs, essentially. That's what we've established from this, and he works on some website.
That's the takeaway.
Achievements.com or something, yeah.
Who has time to play 180 hours of any game? Answer me that. Not me, that's for sure.
I've played 361 hours of Rocket League.
Oh, yeah, but that's different.
No way.
Wow.
You have not.
I have.
No, you have not.
Are you sure that's not just the game being left on standby while you sleep?
Nope. No.
Yeah, that does like a
Because I've got auto off, so no.
That's
Wow.
spectacular.
Rich, thank you so much for joining us. That was absolutely great. And we'll all be checking out True Achievements, and I'm just going to go and install the app right now, because I haven't already.
No.
For
Thank you,
shame.
guys. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot.
You're listening to Xbox One Party Chat Podcast.
Rich, thanks again for being on the podcast, and everybody make sure to check out the True Achievements app on your Xbox One to find out what your true achievement score is.
And if you want news, stay on the subreddit. Don't go to True.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly that. And if you find news that's on trueachievements.com and not on the subreddit, just post it on the subreddit. You know, karma. That's good. Sorry, Rich.
Guys, I want to bring something that's not a game to this week's show.
Okay. Is it at least tangentially related to games?
Yes, it's based upon a game, but it's a movie.
Aha!
Assassin's Creed 3.
So it's...
No?
No, I went to go and see Angry Birds this week at the cinema. No, I'm not joking. Tomb Raider movie has got a March 2018 release date, and we know who the actress is, and I'm going to ask Rhys to say her name.
It's Alicia Vikander.
Since she's Swedish, and I could not even try to pronounce that.
För alla Swedish listeners, det har tågen till Helsingfors. Vi stannar på alla stationer. Vad fan.
It's really pod-worthy for everyone who's not Swedish.
Yeah, it's great.
And she was a robot Ava in Ex Machina. She was a robot Ava
say
in
Guacamelee
Ex Machina. Guacamole.
Guacamelee. There we go. That's fine.
I can't wait
How
till
do you
I
say it?
mispronounce something. It's going to be weird.
But isn't she also dating Michael Fassbender?
So she's gone out with Assassin's Creed.
That's right.
Yeah. Wow.
Lara
That came full
Croft
circle.
And one of the guys from Assassin's Creed, one of the Desmonds or something like that.
I don't think he's a canonical character. I'm not sure.
But anyway, I just want to know your thoughts. Are you excited about a Tomb Raider movie?
I would be interested in the movie definitely if it actually focuses on the reboot of the Tomb Raider series as a game. I think that the new Tomb Raider game series is actually a really good direction to take Lara in. And judging by Alicia's physical build, she's quite thin and athletic. They're not going for like the buxom sort of Angelina Jolie style of super hottie. So
yeah, well, it would be really interesting to see it as a sort of grittier, darker, a person is going up against, the world essentially, like what she was in the first game with not a chance. I would love to go down that route that they have done in the games, or is that too obvious?
Well, I mean, what else can they do other than?
I really want this movie to do well. I want Assassin's Creed to be a good movie. I want this to be a good movie, just so that they don't try it and it fails again, because there is so many good stories and games that I think would make amazing movies, and I just don't think the producers want to take the risk with the stigma that is attached to making a video game movie. And the reason why I brought this story up is all you need is a few really good video game movies. That stigma is lost, and we can start doing what games do best, and that's storytelling.
Yeah, I mean, look at comic book movies. That's before that was, up until 10 years ago, a little bit more than 10 years ago, it was all horrible, except for maybe Blade. That was like the only half decent superhero movies were the Blade movies, and then even the
Triple H disagrees.
And Ryan Reynolds with a really nice beard. I wish I could have a beard as nice as that. But I mean, look at what it's come to now. It's a hugely popular movie form, and they're inspired by what was in comic books. So we should be able to do the same thing with games, just put a little bit more oomph behind it, or I don't know, thought into it and what they're creating, not just slapping something crappy together.
The thing about Tomb Raider is it's actually a really good opportunity here to also like cross some other bridges. Like it can be a real at the risk of sounding like someone posting on Tumblr, it could be a really good excuse to show like a strong female character, like a woman struggling with femininity and growing up and at the same time getting her ass kicked by the rest of the world, which was basically the story of the Tomb Raider game reboot. And like the other big popular game, like Tomb Raider has its rival, which is of course Uncharted in the game space, and they've both diverged from one another. Their gameplay is like almost identical, but their tone and their themes and stories have diverged in such a dramatic way. Tomb Raider is like a serious personal struggle for just Lara, and Dude Raider on the other side is like blow up all the things, yeehaw! And it's like comedy, basically, like an action comedy where he's making sarcastic quips all the time. And so I presume that someone somewhere is making an Uncharted movie, because not doing so would be silly. But you can't follow, like, it has to be different. Is my point forming here, or am I just rambling like Mikey?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying is the Uncharted games are essentially the majority of modern action day movies, whereas with Tomb Raider it went a slightly different direction and there's a bit more of a personal story rather than just the action.
Yes.
But yeah, I fully agree with that. I think if it's got the right director and it's treated well, then, this could be the video game movie that we want. I'm more excited about this than what I'm Assassin's Creed.
But Michael Fassbender, though.
He's so handsome.
He can now actually go to his friends. I am dating Lara Croft. I know he wouldn't say dating, but well, get us out of here, Clay.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for listening, everybody. You can find us over on the Xbox One subreddit at reddit.com/r/Xbox One. And we have new podcasts up every Wednesday. So, Rhys, Ross, thanks for joining us this week. And, hey, Cortana, turn off.
You're listening to Xbox One Party Chat Podcast, the official podcast of the Xbox One subreddit.
Let's do this.